everybody in. Welcome, everyone. As you've probably guessed, I am Anastasia. I am from Kick Consulting, and today I'm going to run you through the construction solution we have built on Monday. So we'll just wait for anybody else that is coming in because I can see it's still filling up, and then I'll start sharing screen. We've also got Paul here today. He'll be in the chat section. You can see him waving hello there. He'll be in the chat section. He'll be going through any questions that you've got. We'll do some housekeeping in a minute, but we do also have Dan from Monday in the room. Not too sure if we're going to be calling on him too much on this one, but if we do have any tricky questions, we might throw your way. All right. So we are a couple of minutes in now, so I might just start. So I'm going to share my screen. Let me know if you can see it when it comes up. All right. Can we all see my screen?
Yep, got you.
Yep. Awesome. Oh, have we still got people coming in, Paul, or are we good to get going?
We're good to no one in the waiting room at the moment, so we'll get to go.
Awesome. All right. So as I said, I'm Anastasia. For anybody who came in late, I'm from Kick Consulting. We are Monday.com Silver Partners. So what that means is we work almost exclusively on the Monday platform. And when I say almost exclusively, I mean we also work on other systems that support Monday. But we do love Monday. And what we have done here is build a solution that is ready for those in the construction industry. Oh, a little bit of housekeeping. Now, if you have questions along the way, we are always happy for questions, but so that we can keep the flow going and so that we don't get bogged down in anything that might be better off one-to-one, if you can add any questions you've got into the comments, start it with #question. And Paul will either answer your question in the comments as we go, or he will collate the questions and we will attend to them at the end. That way as well, if we don't know the answer to anything, we've got a list of everything and we can come back to you by email later. So make sure that everybody has their questions answered. All right, now I can't see the comments, so Paul is running the comment section. Paul, if you need to interrupt me with anything urgent, please let me do so. Otherwise, we'll come back to questions at the end. I can see a few people are still dropping in, so. All right, so who are we? We are Kick Consulting. We, as I said before, are a Monday.com Silver Partner. We work on custom solutions for industries such as yours. So we also do a bunch of training for people using Monday, for businesses using Monday. And we also help our enterprise clients get the most out of their Monday subscription as possible. So we are a bit of a unique team in that we are all remote and we are everywhere. We've got people in Tasmania, Paul. We've got Sydney, we've got Melbourne. So we are based everywhere and we are an awesome team who work really well together thanks to Monday. All right, construction. Now, I've worked with a number of construction clients and the problems are all fairly similar at the beginning. Keeping track of paperwork, using our resources, i.e. our people, wisely and not wasting time and budget, staying on budget, juggling too many projects, meeting deadlines, and communication barriers. Now, they're the main problems that we set out to solve with this solution. So the things that we looked at fixing were file storage and organization. Tick, Monday does it well. Team workload and project time tracking. Again, this does it really well. Visual budget tracking. If it's right in front of you, it's really hard to ignore. A systemized approach and templated tasks. One thing I like to say, and you'll hear me say it a lot, is if you have to do it more than once, see if a computer can do it for you and if you can template it. And one source of truth. This is a little video just showing that the mobile app, which has been updated only recently, so now looks a tiny bit different to that, can keep your teams in the loop, one source of truth, whether they're out on the road, whether they're on site, or whether they are in the office with you. So everybody can see the same information no matter where they are. They can also make changes on site, upload files. There's a lot of things that they can do via their mobile without having to trudge back to the office at the end of the day and sit down on a computer or hand you a bunch of paperwork that you then have to enter. Now, this is where I'm going to demo. Now, I did do a couple of demo videos in case things are running a little slow. Sometimes when I'm streaming, I do find it can get a little bit choppy. So I did some videos, but we'll try and do it live and see how that goes first. If not, I'll hit play on the videos. But all right, this is Monday. Now, this is where we start. It's Monday Sales CRM, and it out of the box comes with a bunch of awesome features. But what we've done is made that applicable to construction, and we've added some things in that will work nicely for this particular use case. But we start with a lead. Lead can come in via a web form, which looks something like this, which can also, I've got to move the Zoom window there. You can link to it from just a normal link. You can embed it on your website. So if on your website you're using something like Typeform or Gravity Forms, you can actually embed this directly onto your website. That way, any changes you make in here to the information that you're collecting or the questions that you're asking automatically update on your website. You don't have to update it in two places. Your IT guys will love you for it. You've got your normal share buttons there, Twitter, which should be X now, Facebook, LinkedIn, da. Okay, so we are going to here. What have we got as a name? I think we've got about 1 million Davids in the room. So I'm going to go David, and I'm going to be really unoriginal here and go Smith. What company are we from? We're from Lego Proprietary Limited. Got that idea from my super cool mug. What is our role? David is our CEO. What is his email? David at lego.com. 6161 411 All right, now let's start typing an address. It auto-fills addresses, which is really cool. Always love it when a form does that. I'm going to go 25 Ringer, go in Ashfield. How many square meters will your project be? Now you can have whatever question you want here. This is what we've done as a bit of a qualifier, as a couple of our clients have done it in the past. I'm going to go, it's 2,000. I'm going to go, our budget is 190K. Nope, 190K. And it's a reno. Okay, client submits that. Yay, fantastic. And then when you come into your Monday, you can see David has landed there, and all of that information that they've submitted on your website or via a code has landed straight into your system. You can see that we've got some lead scoring happening here. We've got a lead score of 3. Now, the lead score is based on what type of job it is, how big it is, the budget, but also if you are working with commercial customers, it's based on the person who is actually inquiring. So if you've got a role of somebody who's classified as a team member, we've used a bit of AI there. A team member might push the lead score down a little bit. But if you've got somebody inquiring who is the CEO, C-level, or director level, you need to get onto that ASAP because that person is the decision maker. So nice little feature there. And as I say, I only typed in CEO here, but the AI that Monday is releasing at the moment, it's slowly coming out, has recognized that CEO is a C-level, implementation specialist is team member, and so on and so forth. All right, so it's come in as a new status. If we open them up now, and this is where it starts to really differ from, say, a spreadsheet or something like that, is in the item view. Item view is where everything about the item or about the inquiry at this stage is held. So I'm going to say, I tried to give David a call, no answer. And I'm going to add that in there as a call summary. So this is where I can start to track everything that me or my team has done. So what I'm also going to do there, I'm going to hit it as attempted to contact. Any changes I make in here, you will see reflected back on the board being your main source of truth. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to say I actually got hold of him and we're proceeding. Now that's just adding a note so that anybody that comes in here knows what's happened there. And I'm going to say we've contacted him. And then in one fell swoop, because we had a really quick conversation then, I'm going to close him as qualified. Again, any changes I make in there, make a change up here. All right, and he just moved out of new leads straight down into qualified leads. So that happened automatically for me. So now that he's qualified, so we can see in here, everything has come in as we saw before, qualified. What you'll also see is an account has been created for him. So this being a commercial account, we can see that Lego Proprietary Limited is in the buying process and any other information that we might have put in along the way. That means that it has gone into these contacts and accounts fields here. Contacts and accounts isn't where you necessarily do your work. I'll put that straight out there. It is basically your phone book. It's your Rolodex. It's where all of the contact details of the people that you work with are stored. So other than going in to look for some information or update some information on somebody, you don't play much in there. It's not one of your doing boards. So now that it's gone to qualified, you'll actually see it's wound up in opportunities, just as we would expect. And it's the one at the bottom here, David Smith. It's a new opportunity. It's automatically been assigned to me because that's who we want new leads or new opportunities to be assigned to. And I can see straight away that because it's red, I'm missing some information. So I change that to say DA and I say it's a deal value confirmed. So we at the moment we don't have this flowing through from the lead because we like to have a conversation with the client to confirm what the deal value is likely to be just on some estimates. So I'm going to go 250. I'm going to call this Faringa 3. Okay, now you'll see I haven't allocated a project manager, so it's going to ask me to do that. I'm going to allocate SpongeBob. Okay, and there we go. Our opportunity has a lot of information in there. How long it's been a deal, how long it's been in the stage of new. So you can start to see from a management perspective, all right, we've got these clients in here. They've been in new for 5 days now. We really should have touched base with them a lot sooner. All of that information is there at your fingertips. But again, you can go into here. You've still got your emails and activities, which came across from your leads as well. We've got some more people coming into the waiting room there. We've got our company info, same as we did on the lead. Now, if we move this into feasibility analysis, our next stage, we'll see it came across in the main board there as well. And it has started to give me some sub items of what needs to be done next. So I know that once we've gone into feasibility status, that we need to get a couple of extra things done, which lives on the CS task board. I can't talk today. This is where we get into the real fun, is where we move from just playing around with a basic CRM of following your leads from lead to opportunity to sale to closed. This is where we start to actually get work done. Task board. There we go. Taringa Street has automatically come in here. Our task board looks big, it looks confusing, it's got a lot of information in here, but you can come in and you can see my tasks. So your team can come in and just see what they're allocated to. Or, there we go. Or if you do a search for Ringer, if you just want to see everything that's related to that job, you can see what's outstanding there. Back up to the opportunity. This is where my internet starts to go a bit slow when I'm streaming, what I was worried about. Back up to our opportunity. We've got everything completed there. If I mark this off as done, either here or down in the task board, then there we go. It changed to the next stage of fee proposal because all the tasks that were needed in that stage have been completed. So now we've got more tasks populating because these tasks are the ones that need to happen during the fee proposal stage. And just like before, they've come into the task board as well. So you'll see a couple of additionals start to come in there. All right. With this use case, opportunity stops at fee proposal. And if they go ahead with that, that's when it moves into construction projects. So construction projects, because up to fee proposal, we're still kind of, yeah, they want to go ahead, but we're still quoting it. We're still doing a bit of backwards and forwards. Now let's go. So we've got Taringa Street in there, still in concept and design. This is our high level board. So our high level view is more for your managers or your quick view of where everything is at. So whereas your CS task board is that really big board broken down into all of the tasks that need to be done for every project, your high level board is a lot more concise and gathers information from a bunch of different places so that you can see everything in one hit. All right, we can see things are still populating there again. This is my lovely internet while I'm streaming. So if you see a few things change around as I'm playing, then that's all that is. Now we can see in here, same as we could before, we've got a bunch of the sub items that are due to happen. We can assign them to different people. Paul, I'm going to assign that to you. You'll have to clear that out of your tasks when we're done. We can say we're working on it. We can give a firm deadline for it in there so that our team can see that. Hi. And the rest, if you see this little colorful line under the headings there, that means it's linked somewhere else. That means it's pulling information from another board. So we don't have to fill that out here. If we do make a change here though, in most cases, depending on how you've got it set up, it will also make that change in the other board wherever it is linked. And you can always see where something is linked or mirrored by clicking on the little information button there. Okay, our high level board. This is where I love a lot of the stuff around planning. So we can actually see a map, and you'll have more than 3 projects on the go in most cases, but you can start to see a map of where your jobs are, and you can go into the item view of each job directly from the map. Really handy for planning, for assigning subcontractors, for having a look at the weather. If you know that the weather up north is going to be horrendous for the next week and you can see that you've got 5 jobs up there, you might want to reallocate your team to some jobs down south or do some work in the office. But so we can see there, you can see straight away it's Taringa Street, it's in concept and design, which is exactly where we had it. And that's at your quick view there. We go into the item. Again, this is my favorite part of everything. Once it's a project or once it's a job, your item view looks a little bit different to what it did when it was an opportunity, a little bit more meaty. So in here, this is almost your whole project in one hit, everything that needs to be done. Now, at the moment, a lot of this is blank because we've just created it and we haven't actually given due dates to anything, but you can change the due dates from in here, or if you change them on the board, again, it'll reflect back. It's all one source of truth. Subcontractors, if you've noticed this bit down here, when you want to assign a subcontractor from your subcontractor directory, all you have to do is hit the little plus and select them there. So I now know that for Taringa Street, I've got Jack and Joe, geez, I'm inventive, as our main subcontractors. Now you can have plumbing, electrical, flooring, whatever it is you need to have, and you can have all of that pulling through from your subcontractors. Now, if I open Joe's plumbing, I can see that that's his address, probably a bit far, phone number, email address, rating, and any other projects that he is on in here. So I can see that he's also been assigned to Burke Street and Samantha Riley. I can put any updates or information that I need about him. I can put files in here. So if I need a copy of their certificates, then I can add them in here and they're always saved against our subcontractor. Status here, which is just a tick or a not tick, is are we using them at the moment or are we not? Rating is a nice quick way of saying, all right, this subcontractor, we've used them a couple of times and frankly, they suck. So I'm going to rate them A1 so that when we're reviewing to see who we're going to start assigning things to, we might avoid this one for a while. All right, so that's our subbies. Back over to our, sorry, my internet again. This is what I was worried about. If I go back into Taringa as the one we are working on at the moment. There we go. You'll see down here we've got our files gallery. Any files that we've got, whether it be plans, photos, anything about this job can be uploaded directly into here. And the beauty of it, and I'll show you on a video that I've taken from my phone as well, is that it shows up on the phone straight away too. So I will switch back over through here and show you. There we go. That there is the mobile view. Now this one's on Burke Street Mall. I can see that there are a number of files there. I can open the files, I can save them, I can share them, and I can add more files directly from my phone. Really handy for people on site if they're taking photos of the site or of progress, put them there straight away. If you're out and about and your client wants an update from you and you want to share the photos with them, there's the share button there as well. You can share the files directly without then having to save them somewhere else and then SMS them elsewhere. Really handy for people who work out of the office or on site full-time or part-time. Now, because my internet's slow, I'm going to show you this. If it loads, it's fuzzy, isn't it? Is it fuzzy for everybody else? Yeah. No, that's going to play fuzzy. So I'm going to see if I can go from here. So adding a file is really simple. I can add almost any type of file in here. With Enterprise, you've got heaps of storage. You don't have to worry about running into any storage limits or anything like that. And now that file is saved against that customer. That could be a photo, plans, certificates, anything, approvals. All right. Now, what else we've got in here is our budget. So you can start to, as I mentioned before, start to track your budget on each one. And you can do that directly from the item. So you can say we've only spent 150,000, which means we've got a gap of 100. We've got 100,000 left in budget. We have spent 300,000, which means
Before
we
we
are
leave,
now
anything else out?
over budget. Oh, I've got somebody not on mute there. There we go. Now we're over budget. We've gone 50 grand over. So we've got some nice little ways of keeping track of budget there, but we've also got a dashboard which can be customized around, all right, so our budget spent versus our budget allowed. So you can see it for each job. You can group this however you like. We've got it grouped by each job because we don't have heaps of jobs in here. And if you're only handling a small amount of jobs, this is a good way of doing it. If you're handling heaps of jobs, you can start to group them by job type, whether your reno ones are going over budget or whether your new builds are going over budget, fit outs, whatever type of job it is. You can go, all right, the project manager. You can filter it down by project manager and group it by that and say, all right, well, you know what? All of Joe's projects are going over budget for the last 6 months. Let's have a chat with him and see if we can rein that in a little bit. We can also, and this is, I'll show you a little bit more about this very shortly, around tracking your team's hours and the hours against each project. Now, as I said before, everything in Monday is all linked together. So that information there actually comes from people tracking their tasks down in the task board. But coming back to here, we were at map, weren't we? Then timeline. Again, a nice visual there just of what people are working on. So I can see that Lockie is working on Burke Street Mall for a couple of weeks there. I can click on that and open the item view again, albeit squished, and I can see everything that is going on there. So there's those files that I uploaded before. And then after he's finished there, I can see that he's got, oh no, not after he's finished. He's working on both of those at once. I can see that he's working on Arizona as well. SpongeBob is working on Samantha Riley. So we can start to see some timelines there once we've entered those dates in our main board. Status meetings is handy. What we've pulled that from is if you want to, whatever the next meeting date is, it's just a calendar. So all we can see here is we've got 3 client meetings coming up this week. Nice and simple there. That's our high level view. Again, it's much more of an overview and doesn't break you down into every single little task that needs to be done, but it's a really nice place just to get an idea of where things are at a quick glance. We move into our task board, which I've shown you just briefly where the work happens. Again, it looks like a lot, but you can filter out. So if I only want to see Thuringa, I just type that in there and now I can just see that project. I can filter it by whoever's responsible, all these other filters I can use there. So I can see it however I want to see it. And if I always only want to see that, I can save that as a new view. I won't do it now because I think Lockie is still working on stuff. I won't add anything else that confuses him. So coming back to here, we have each section of feasibility analysis that needs to be done. You'll see it's repeated over and over for each client. That's automatically generated when the client goes into that status. We've got what you'd normally expect to see, due dates, statuses, timeline, and time tracking. Time tracking is where we start to see what our people are doing, how long they're spending on projects, but also what their workloads are. So we can see that Lockie has spent 73 hours out of 100 on this one, and he did it. So he's actually done it under the allotted hours, and he did it on time. Fantastic. Down here, we've got one that's not finished yet. We're still working on it. We've also got a bit of a dependency there. So I'm going to show you how that works in a sec. But what you'll see is our timeline here starts after the last one is completed. Oh, we've already spent 2 hours on that one. We can hit the little plus button to keep that going. You'll see the seconds ticking, 24, 25, 26. And we know that we've only got an hour left on that one. So we can see that quite quickly. Samantha Riley, we haven't really started on much there. Same with all of the others. Now, let's do our Turinga that we are in. So I'm going to say, this is where dependencies comes in fun. I'm going to start down here. I'm going to say for Turinga Street, what I want to do is I don't want the cost estimation task to start until we've done the site evaluation. So When the site evaluation is done, and I have to keep moving the Zoom window around, when the site evaluation is finished, then we want to start cost estimation. And we want to do that 2 days later. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to say that I'm going to start the site eval on the 4th, aiming to finish it on the 7th. There we go. And then I am going to actually working on it and then done. I'm hoping with my internet it does all actually flow through the way I want it to flow through. Nope, doesn't want to for me. I know some things were taking up to 60 seconds, so we'll come back to that one. Hopefully it finishes in the background. But what we'll do is look then at the workload that I mentioned a minute ago. All right. So remember how we were allocating hours to each job? This is where all of that shows. So I can see that myself, that's blue with a tiny, tiny dark blue dot, 2 out of 40 hours. I've got 2 hours out of 40 allocated to me in that week. I can do more work. I'm sure of it. Lachlan, again, he's only got tiny little dots in there. He's got 10 hours out of his 40 allocated, 1 hour out of his 40 allocated. But I can see SpongeBob down here. SpongeBob is at his capacity. He's only got 30 hours allocated to him in that week, and he has used it. So you know what? Lachlan might be able to take some more work there. We go across to week 13. That one's shown red. He's actually doing 47 hours. So I'm going to allocate those jobs to somebody else. And I can see that nice and clearly. And you can go all the way into the future there based on the dates that we put back. So that is our workload. You can see where your team is up to. My tasks, fairly self-explanatory, anything assigned to me. Gantt chart. Some people love Gantt charts. Some people hate them. I'm somewhere in between, but they are very, very handy when it comes to looking at your weeks in advance. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go back. Again, I only want to see the things for that job. I can see that we've got 2 tasks happening at the same time there. And where we see this little line here, that means that I set up a dependency, which I was talking about before. I can click and drag those things and update the lag in here, which will update the dates back in the main board. So rather than going into individual dates, you can just drag things around and the dependencies will follow. Now, did I have more dependencies on a different one? I did. Let's go Samantha. Samantha Riley, we've got a couple there. If I drag this across, update, you'll see the next task moves along with it. So I find that the easiest way to work with dependencies once they're set up. Click and drag them around. And you can even do that if you start looking at your workload and see, all right, everybody has far too much to do. That's still showing Samantha Riley only during that week. So I'm going to come in here and I'm actually going to shift a few things around. This is a really busy week, so I'm going to pull that out. And everything that's dependent on that will flow along with the changes that you're making. These are all just different ways to view the exact same data. Some people really like this. I like this view because I can start to see what people are working on and how much time they're spending on things. I like this as a nice quick view because it also breaks down by what stage things are at. So I can see easily that Lockie has a lot of feasibility analysis work to do at the moment. SpongeBob, he's kind of split between the two, and myself, I really don't have much on. As you update things in here, they update everywhere else. You can allocate how many hours you think something's going to take. Again, time tracking, either hit the button or add the session manually, and then everything else will change. If I come into here, nope, not that one. If I come into here, I can start to add notes. I can tag people and say, hey, Lockie, where's this at? And Lachlan will receive a notification to reply to me directly on the item that I want. You can see which items have comments against them. They'll just show up with a little 1 or a 2 or a 3 there. You can collapse all of these if it's a bit too much, but again, I actually prefer using the search feature and just going into the one I want to look at the time. And I spelt that wrong then. Oh, he spelled it Arizona. Okay, it's not Arizona, it's Arizona. So I can see what's happening with each project there. All right. Our next board down here is our subcontractors. Now, we did touch on this before where we can see who's been assigned to what. We can see they're rating the same information we saw when we opened it up directly from the file that we were playing with before. So we can see, all right, this guy has been assigned to Arizona, Taringa, Samantha, and Burke. We're giving him a lot of work at the moment, but that stays as well. So you can start to see if there are any issues. So if you're going through and you know that you've had a bunch of files go wrong or a bunch of deals or jobs go wrong recently, you can come back in and you can actually see, all right, well, we had the same subcontractor assigned to electrical on all of those roles. So do we need to have a conversation with them around, hey, are you overworked at the moment? Is it just been a bad time? Is it weather? What is it? So you can start to actually monitor your subcontractors there. So have a look. That was our files, team planning. So that's what we were mentioning before around workload. In the workload part and in the calendars, you can start to add things like public holidays and weekends. You can add how many hours I had SpongeBob in as 30 hours and I have myself as 40 hours below. So you can really narrow that down. I don't think the videos are going to work for me, but that's what this was all about. Here is another mobile view where, here we go. If I wanted to track how long I had spent, I just come into the mobile view and we can see it start to tick over there. 2 hours, 17 seconds. All done from my mobile. So anybody out on site can just hit go, get to work, come back, turn it off. And that will show up everywhere. Budget tracking, I showed you, so I don't need to do that one. Dashboard views, I showed you. Subcontractor management. Now, one thing that you can do, I haven't done it on this board simply because we've made it a private one for demo, is you can actually invite your subcontractors as guests and you can give them limited permissions to see certain things about the items that they are assigned to. Where that comes in handy is you don't have to email all the plans over to them or the approvals over to them, and vice versa. They can upload files, they can send you notes, updates without everything being in an email inbox. So, hey, here are the blueprints you need. Brilliant. Let's get going. So that can all be handled directly in Monday. All of your communication with your subbies, you can see their job history, as I mentioned before, what they're good at, what they're not good at, and they can see the jobs that they're assigned to as well and what status they're up to too. So they can start to plan their week and their day. Who knows, they might even fall in love with Monday and start using it themselves. Right, those videos don't want to work for me. Now, I'm going to pause there for a second and go through any questions that we might have had. Paul, did we have any?
Most of them will be answered as as you're going, so all good at the moment.
Cool. All right. I tried to have a quick look at the chat there, but it didn't like working for me. So that is most of what I had on the agenda to show you. But what I might do is a couple of Monday basics. If anybody here, if we want to pop in the chat, who's used Monday before and who hasn't, we'll get a little bit more interactive, seeing as we've gone through it pretty quick.
I had a question, Anastasia.
Go for it.
Just with your Gantt chart dependencies, I can see you have a finish to start function. Is that only available through the CRM window?
No, if you're working on Monday Work Management, dependencies is in there as well.
When I look at the dependencies on mine, it only comes up with just where you link the dependencies, which I also find a little bit clunky, but I don't see a start function.
Dan, that might be a question for you. I know that some of the functions around dependencies are still in beta. Is that something that is still on a slow rollout? No, we've lost Dan. We've got anybody else from Monday in the room that would like to jump in there? No? Okay. I do. So basically what I just said. Now, if I go into dependencies, I'll jump into one. I'll jump into here. So if you open this up, you'll see that that is still in beta. Most of our clients we found do have it fully featured now, but you might find that your account just might not have the full features yet. You can reach out to your partner if you've got a partner, or you can reach out to Monday directly to see, whether you can have that activated on your account or whether you just need to wait until it's fully rolled out to everybody.
Yeah, okay.
So it's just one of those things that's a bit too new.
And also, like with that, I find doing dependencies and it has a drop-down list where you have to constantly scroll through to try and find your dependencies. I find that a little bit clunky. Is there any way where you can actually just click what cell you want to have on the main board?
In here, you can do a search. So there's type to find. So if you only want to see things for, say, Samantha Riley, again, like I do up here, I use search for everything. So it's kind of my go-to for seeing the information that I want. I can see what's just on for that job.
Yeah, cool.
So
It's like it'd be awesome if you could just like select over here which one you want.
yeah,
You know?
yeah, I don't think. No, it still shows them all. Yeah,
Yeah.
still shows them all. There is, and I will say this is something Monday are actually really good at. If you've got suggestions on something, Monday are really good at listening to feedback. So they do have almost a suggestion box style link or section on their community websites. And you can actually see they have taken on board just about everything that people have suggested. And they keep a history of that to show you, all right, we're looking into it. It's going through testing, it's being implemented. So I highly suggest to anybody, if you're using Monday and if you come across anything that you think could work a little bit differently or a little bit better, jump into that community forum and I'll see if I can email it out to everybody afterwards, a link to it. Make the suggestion. You might find that a bunch of other people either have already asked or agree with you and go, yeah, that would be awesome. And then Monday do listen and they will take it under consideration. And like I say, most things that people suggest, they do put in place. They've got a really good track record of that.
Okay.
I'll get that out to you by email. But yeah, until then, the search function is probably your best bet there. All right. So back to before, did we have any answers on how experienced in Monday we are, or if we want to have a quick overview of a couple of the more Monday features rather than solution features? No comments, Paul? Nope. All right. So in saying that, I'm going to assume that everybody is fairly across what a board is and things like that, because I did run through it as if you did already know, but if you didn't, now's the time to ask. All right, a little bit about Kit Consulting. When you start a job with us, you'll be assigned a dedicated project manager if you want us to install stuff or build stuff for you. They're your main point of contact. So you'll have one human who is your person. You can ask questions, you can have regular meetings with them, flick them emails saying, I'm lost, how do we do this? Or I've been asked to test this and it's just not working for me. They are your person, they are your contact. Communication, I'll show you a sneak peek at what we call our PTL or our project task list board in a second. No surprise, we use Monday. You receive guest access, like I was talking about for your subbies before, to our PTL board where you can see where we're up to. You can communicate with us. We can communicate back with you all in one spot. So everybody's across everything. And also with each of our solutions and with enterprise subscriptions, we include training. We want you to use this. We want you to make the most of it. We want you to understand it. I'm not the best trainer, but we do have people around that are. I'm good at showing, not so much good at the training part. You also receive a library of videos on how to use your solution. So little tips, little 1 and 2 minute tips on how to use your actual solution. Now, what you're looking at here is a view of what I said before, our project task list board, our PTL board. And this is where you can see here that a client, Zani and Tori, are communicating with Mikal, who is one of our project managers. So all directly in here, you don't have to rely on emails. You can if you want, but it's nice to have it all in here. We can see there's been 5 comments on that task and everybody is kept up to date in one spot. And you get to get really familiar with Monday because you're using it along with us as your project is being built. Now, construction solution requirements. We have made, you might have seen I jumped around a little bit during the demo there, and it will get smoother, I promise, if we do a one-to-one. We've made a few changes to the solution after we've moved across to the Sales CRM platform because Monday's made some changes recently on how their products work. We moved everything across to the Sales CRM platform because frankly, we're in love with it. The features that it comes with out of the box are absolutely brilliant. And that actually means that we now don't need you to, I didn't have time to change this, don't need you to also have Make, which we were using in the this week solution for the construction solution that we put together. Now you can get access to a free trial of Monday at Sales CRM Enterprise through us. You get a couple of weeks to have a bit of a play around, have a look at it. Now that's not the construction solution itself, that's just CRM Enterprise, and I'll show you what that includes in a sec.
So you're saying you don't need Make
No.
when you use Sales CRM?
Yep. We Lockie, who look, I'm not the tech person, but I went to him and I'm like, so seeing as we're amending this solution anyway, do you reckon we can get rid of Make so that we don't have to make people make people get that as well as Monday, and he did it.
Wow.
He's a magician.
Okay.
So we've moved it onto Monday CRM Enterprise. That's where this solution sits, the templated solution sits. And yeah, we've gotten rid of that, which is amazing. So one less subscription for you. Unless you want to start doing a bunch of extra stuff, then you might need it again. All right, Monday Sales CRM Enterprise. Now, just in case my system wasn't working, I did put this together of everything that it does. You can see it does a lot. You've got the phone apps, which I showed you the Android version because I don't do iPhone before. You've got funnel widgets, which I'll show you in a sec, quotes and invoices, doc storage, which we went through, emails. It's everything in one. It really is brilliant. And especially for something that is so visual, is so easy to use once you've gotten into it, there's a lot it can do.
Did you go over the invoices at the start of the video?
No, because we don't have that in this solution.
Okay.
So you can do it, but we haven't linked it up with anything for that in this solution because it just wasn't needed in this particular one. But we can run you through that separately in a one-to-one if you book that in. Just let us know that you want to have a look at that and we'll have it ready to demo.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, we're not actually using it, so we didn't have it set up for this one.
Yeah, I found it didn't really work that well.
Okay. Yeah, book in a demo if you want. We'll have a chat about how we use it versus how you tried to use it and see if we can work it out.
Okay.
All right. Lead scoring, which we went through, workload view, which is great fun. That's all the stuff it can do. Now, what I wanted to show you was, if you have a look here, all of these boards, apart from this workspace apps thing that I've been trying to get rid of, that's across all of our accounts at the moment in Kit because we're testing stuff, and the construction management piece, Monday Sales CRM comes with all of this. Now, we have played around with it to make it more construction-y, but these boards and the features, the main features of moving things from leads into opportunities, saving things as contacts and accounts, keeping track of activities, all comes with Sales CRM. So the basics of a CRM system or of your workflow system is already there. The other bits that we don't use in this solution necessarily, but that you do get because it's already built in, are these down here, legal and security. If you have a legal team, there's a section for legal requests. There's a section for security requests. In here, post-sales, finance and collections, account management. This is where you would have been before, probably, Steve. Account management and client projects. Now, again, this is all the templated stuff straight from Monday down here. So everything from construction management above is what we've tailored. Anything below is straight out of the box with enterprise, sales operations, onboarding, enablement, headcount planning. Reports is where I love it though. So reports, this is feeding through from the data we've put up into the CRM above, which as you saw, we don't have a lot of data in there at the moment, but you can see your top open deals. It has worked out that these are the deals that are strategic. These are the deals that we should be looking at right now and focusing on. If I had reps in there, which I don't, and targets for reps, which I don't, you would see their actuals versus their target. You can start to see team performance. Hey, I'm on top. Come on, I've closed 2.98 million. What are you doing, Lachlan and SpongeBob? And I've got a 50% conversion rate. You've got pipeline analysis. Again, this is the stuff that's already built in, not necessarily on the construction management side of things. It's just there, so it just works. And you can play around with it and customize it however you like. We've got 13 open deals at the moment. We've got some forecasts around, in March, we expect a value of around 178 if we're doing some financial forecasts. This funnel widget is really nice to see what your conversions look like. You can also narrow down by date or by people. So this quarter, it probably won't change because everything I had was in this quarter. Pipeline generation, we've got in February, we didn't have anything before that. In February, we've got just over 2 mil, nearly 3 mil, and we've closed 2.3. So these are all built in exactly as it is, all templated for you to just jump in and use. So this is going to show a bunch of target stuff, but we don't have the targets put in there because I wanted to just show it how it was. But we can, hey, they did have some targets in there. We were supposed to make 5 mil. We've only made 345 grand. Come on, team. What are we doing? Seems like I'm holding everybody up. Then you'll start to see some revenue numbers in there as well. You can break it down by team. You can see your conversions. My internet's dropping again. Won and lost, and there's that leaderboard again. So your targets you put into here, and again, just like everything else Monday, everything's connected. If I had targets in there for myself and for Lockie, you would have seen how we were tracking against those individual targets. Different views and different reports all in there already. But this stuff, so everything from here down, I haven't touched. This is what you get with Monday Sales CRM. So that stuff's already all in there. We played around with CRM and we played around with, and we added construction management to this particular solution. So you actually get a bit more bang for your buck than you would have had we left it on work management, which is why we moved it across onto the new Sales CRM for Enterprise. All right, I can't even see a clock at the moment. How are we doing for time?
We're 7 minutes away from the end.
Cool. Yeah, I need to slow down how I talk. How are we going in the chat? Any more questions?
Not for the moment. I can see a few bookings for discovery calls, which is great to see.
All right. So that is CRM for Enterprise. Now, if you become an Enterprise Monday client, either work management or CRM with Kick, so with us, you get a few bonuses. So obviously, onboarding, dedicated CSM or customer success manager, highly likely to be me at this stage. So you get access to me. Executive business reviews. So what they are is we get a bunch of data from Monday themselves around how you're using the system, how your teams are using the system, how often, what frequency, what are they using it for, what features they're using most. And we can start to look at, all right, let's have a look at where we might want to tweak things. So we want the sales team to be using it a lot more. What can we do to make it easier for them to use day to day? Or we can see that the marketing team's actually using it really well. Let's have a chat to them and see what are they loving and how can we help the other teams in our business out with how they've learned and what they're using it for. Every quarter for our enterprise clients, we run team training. We run 3 lots of training. Admin, which is obviously for your admin users, the people in charge of setting up or amending your Monday or putting people into Monday. We've got foundations training, which is what I was going to do a little tiny bit of if nobody here had used Monday before, around how to use it, what are the basic features, how to turn off all the darned notifications. And then we've got our advanced training, which more focuses on recent developments. So things that might have changed, been updated, or new features that are coming out from Monday. Your ongoing consultancy hours, depending on how many seats or how many licenses you have with Enterprise, you could get some freebie hours with our tech team each year that roll over to go through your workflows, fix things that somebody might have broken, implement a new feature that Monday might have come out with, or implement Monday into another team that's not using it just yet. And then additional strategic sessions. That's just something that your CSM does with you every now and then, you know, pick up the phone and have a chat around how's everything going? What can we improve? You know, how can we help basically? So that is Monday Enterprise with Kick. This is the training side of things. So, you know, if your team would prefer face-to-face training, we can organize it. Face-to-face does come at a fee though, because there is travel involved. As I said, we are based everywhere, so our team more than likely has to travel. Zoom team training is all in there. We do have training with every solution that we put in because we want you to use it. There's also ongoing maintenance packages, which can help you if you don't have time to necessarily manage the rollout across your whole team and you want to keep making tweaks as they come up with questions. All right, the fun bit. Who wants it? Who wants the construction solution for free? Normally 5 grand on its own. Anyone? No? If you do want it, if you think that's a pretty good deal, scan the QR code, fill in the feedback form. Now, look, even if you don't want it, I'd really love you to fill in the feedback form. It's the only way we get better. And make a time for a demo in a chat. And you go in the draw to win the solution installed on your system. So Doesn't come with licenses or anything like that, but what it comes with is everything that we built out there for construction. So it comes with those construction boards, the high level board plus the low level tasks board, all of those preset automations sitting in the background to just make it all happen. We'll put that onto your system and you can have a play. And if you want to make it even more yours or you want to make any changes, then we'll give you a good deal on getting our implementation specialists to work with you on anything else as well. So I think Paul probably put that link into the chat as well. And we're probably coming just up to time. If anybody has any questions or any feedback you want to give me straight away, if you feel like being brave, anybody can come off mute. No? It's great talking to silence. Anyone?
I've just shared the feedback form to everyone if you have a chance to fill it out for us. Thank you very much, Sandra, for showing this to us. It was very insightful.
Awesome. And as I said, because we have only just moved this onto Enterprise CRM and it did work slightly differently prior to the move, there were a few features in there that I probably didn't show you very thoroughly and might have skipped over a little bit. If you do want to know more, absolutely make that time for me to run you through or for us to run you through it one-to-one, where you can ask questions, where we can deep dive into things. And we'll see if we can get all of that sorted for you. Thank you very much for every time. I think from the looks of it, I'm giving you back 1 minute in your day. We will be recording this. We will be cutting it up. So give us a day or so before we get that recording out to you. I'm going to take out all of my ums and ahs and maybes and this and that, and also add some captioning to it as well. So keep an eye out for that to come. Anybody who was registered will get a copy of that. But again, I would really love your feedback. So please, anybody that's on here, I know there's things I could have done better. I know that already, but I'd love to hear from you what you think we could do better or what you think you'd like us to focus on more. All right, I'll leave it at that if everybody's good to go. Take care.